Welcome, everybody, to the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. I'm back. Sorry, I've been AWOL for a little while with the kids' baseball season. Then I had to go to Texas for my little brother's funeral. Congratulations to my little brother, by the way, for him and his beautiful wife. It's a great funeral. I said a funeral. Wow. I meant a wedding. Or did I mean that? Who knows? Who knows? I didn't even think about that. Who knows? But hey, it was a great time. Got back, unfortunately, tried getting back for fireworks with the kids, but unfortunately most of the fireworks here in Illinois were canceled with the bad weather. But hey, I'm back. Bears season is coming up soon, guys. OTAs is less than a month away. Mandatory OTAs is less than a month away, so let's not forget that. And we're gonna see. We'll break that down a little bit with some of the injury updates that we're hearing and everything. From what I'm hearing behind the scenes, there's not any serious injuries that we need to worry about right now. Most people will be ready at least for training camp. But we'll break down some Bears football. We're gonna break down some Bulls. The draft's over. I know I was gone. I missed the show when we were able to talk about the draft, but you got the summer league coming up right now, and I'm excited to watch the summer league to see our 2 first-round picks in Daryl Swain and Caleb Wilson playing together, because I think that's a very, very good dynamic duo right there. It could be a very bright future for those two. So we will break that down a little bit, and we'll break down a little Blackhawks talk as well, because a lot of Blackhawks fans are reaching out to me worried, hey, Connor Bedard hasn't signed yet. Connor Bedard hasn't signed an extension yet. Are we going to be worried? It's going to get done. They're going to sign the contract. I think they're waiting for the salary cap, what the increase is going to be, to find out how many years that they're going to give him. But it's going to be somewhere between 5 to 8 years, which 8 years is the max you could only do in hockey. But asking me price-wise, it's going to be somewhere north of $14 million a year. I mean, that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be the highest paid contract in the NHL, which a lot of people are worried about. Could he get that? Yeah, he probably could. But he also wants to build a team around him. He does not want to make the highest paid money and then just, still struggle every year. So we will break down a little Blackhawks talk as well. But hey, JB's running a little late. I got a great guest in the background, but let's hit that intro before we get started. And everyone be patient with me, because I'm not only just hosting, I am also producing again as well. So doing it all, baby. So here we go.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
These summer league games and they tell you about these new up and coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso, both when they are on the court, are like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
We still got to say we really don't know shit. I think we know we're getting there. We're getting a little better. We're getting up. We're getting closer, maybe to not shit, to maybe something else that's just not nearly as bad. But hey, like I was breaking down before, let's just get it going, man. I'm gonna bring in my guy right now, our guest. He is straight up a brother of the show, brother of the network, from the Sizzle Uncut. Let's bring in Gregory.
What it is, what it's doing, and what it should be
back,
doing.
Man.
How welcome you back. Doing, man? What's going on with you guys?
It's down days, man. It's down days. No Bears to really talk about as much. And I know, like we always break it down a little bit to talk a little Bears right off the bat with the practices and everybody not showing up to practice. I want your take on this because I know a few people I get into it with as well for the little mini camp or whatever, how literally like 80% of the veterans don't show up. It's like, who cares, right? It's mini camp. I really don't care. If it was training camp, I'd be a little bit more worried. Like the biggest name that everyone brings up to me because I love him to death because I am friends with his family and our guy Kyler Gordon, who came up with this little, he's having little, I'm not saying injury, he's having aggravated muscle spasms and everything like that. But for everything I'm seeing, he's still training in LA. He is still doing his thing. Like he is set to be back fine by OTAs and training camp, no issues. But everyone hears lower body, they're worried.
What we're hearing then is not a reality, is just a terror that, oh my God, he's not coming back, he's injured and he's just not ready. And how can we go through this again? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this again. You can't worry about a voluntary minicamp, the one that you're not paid to be at. Well, it's in your contract, but you're not saying that you got to be there.
Most veterans don't go. It's just how it is. Most veterans don't go.
What you're worried about is when they move in their things into a dorm room and they go to a.
We already got one on here. Love your scrolls. He's made in China.
Listen, man. Listen. For this whole thing to work, you're going to need him there. So 100%. One thing that you've got to have is you just got to have some clarity. And I'd much rather come into the season knowing that he's healthy and not banged up in training camp or volunteer OTAs. Let the man come in solid. Let him come in and whatever rehab he's doing, whatever he's training or whoever he's training with, let that be for right now. As long as he can make it to camp, I'm good.
Exactly. I mean, even like, obviously I want him in training camp. I want him to do some preseason games and everything like that because I want to make sure he's ready. But when it's all said and done, and I will go on the record saying this, in my opinion, there's not a better nickel that's more important in their team than Kyler Gordon. He needs to be 100% to be as effective as he is. That Spider-Man backflip crazy ass freaking guy that he is at heart, we need him to be that because he can guard anybody in the NFL. Anybody.
One thing I will say this, and when I know it's a lot of scrutiny, but as long as Kyler Gordon is not sidelined for the season, I'm okay with that. And I think you should be okay with that as a fan. That's my, if it's their one chill moment, this is the calm down, relax. It's going to be okay. Just listen to, in the great words of a Chicago rapper, it'll all make sense in a minute. If you don't understand, you'll understand it in a minute. Just give it a moment. It'll all play itself out. Now, one of the things when you talk about the injuries, really I wanted to talk to you about is the biggest injury front is at the left tackle spot. And that left tackle spot has a spotlight on it. Are the Bears ready to go to war, even going to camp? Are you ready for camp and preseason? What you've got over there? I don't know how I feel about Braxton Jones. So maybe
I know how I feel about.
Okay, well, talk to me. Tell me, how should I feel about Braxton Jones and what's getting ready to happen as the Bears are getting ready to go into mandatory camp and then into preseason and starting the season with him as the starting left tackle?
Like Braxton Jones, I mean, the only positive thing that you can pretty much say is he's got experience. that's pretty much like the only positive thing I really can say. And I guess the only thing that makes you think it was like, I mean, Ben Johnson is a great coach. He does have great play calling to actually, make that a little stronger. And I mean, we do got some stronger guards in there that's going to help out Braxton as well, because Braxton's never really had a good consistent guard next to him either. And I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt because the guy looks like he skips lower body every single day. He is just massive and huge and gets pushed around like he's nothing. So to answer the question, am I worried? Absolutely, I'm worried. Anybody who is a Bears fan should be worried about that left side. And I'm really hoping they got something up their sleeve to bring in a veteran left tackle because, I mean, it does not look like Ozzy's going to be here this season. So, I mean, you can't rely on that. You do got Benedict, right? He's still there, and he's a solid piece. I actually think he's better than Braxton, in my opinion. I'd rather him at left tackle, in my opinion. But all those rumors about I can't forget his name, who was cut from Detroit, who's good with Ben Johnson.
One thing I'll say about him is that I don't think he has a left arm anymore. When you talk about left tackles in the league, I don't know. And see, this is the thing. This is my question about Braxton Jones. Is it that he missed leg day or he didn't have any legs to get in under leg day? Because let me say this, as a big man with leg injuries, when you get to be an older big man with leg injuries, leg day is not your friend. And sometimes you can't, as badly as you want to, you can't get in. So you have to have that upper body strength just to help out to at least get you past what you can't do with the lower body workout. So is it a situation where maybe Braxton this year is finally healthy and having a good guard, having some semblance of a real line?
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, though. His first few years, he was healthy. I mean, his last few years, he had a couple of nagging injuries and everything. I will 100% admit that. But I mean, it's just even healthy or not healthy, like it was always still the same exact thing that beat him. And we're in what now, year 4 or is it year 5 under? It's year 5 under Braxton. We gave him a 1-year extension. So we're in year 5 under Braxton, and he still gets bullied on the bull rush every single time. Every single time he gets pushed around like crazy.
Is that a scheme thing for him? Is that a strength thing for them? Is that a technique thing for him? How does he work on that? What makes Braxton better this year, year 5? What makes him better to be the starting left tackle for the Bears? What did they have to work on to get him better?
I mean, I have not heard anything about him as far as his off-season workouts or anything like that on what he's improved. But I don't know if it's the fact that I haven't heard anything about him or even if I did hear something about him, it's nothing positive. Like, I mean, I would have loved to hear, hey, he improved his squatting or power cleaning by like 150 pounds this offseason. Like, I would have loved to hear that because his thing is, as big as he is weak with those arms and those legs. Like, he's not strong. And even when he tried fixing those and doing a little bit more technique to help him, he was getting walked after that. Like, as a Bear fan, I'm done with Braxton Jones. And I seriously think the only reason he got an extension is because Ozzy got hurt. Because you needed that extra body to fill it just in case you didn't get a draft pick or you didn't sign somebody, which in my opinion, they didn't. So I am worried, and I'm really hoping maybe somebody gets cut that we can pick up after training camp.
Funny enough, you mentioned earlier we were talking about Taylor Decker coming over from the Lions. And when you listen to Lions fans, they are seriously happy that Taylor Decker is not there. I don't understand. Funny enough, I did not know they in a battle in their camp in Detroit. Guess who's over there?
Who?
Larry Bourne.
I did not know that. Holy shit.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, he's fighting for a backup spot. So you're looking at a situation where is Larry Bourne better than Braxton? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But is he better than Decker? And is Decker better than when it comes to what we have with Braxton Jones? And I think this year, and the theme of today, the theme of tonight's show is it all makes sense in a minute. I believe that this camp will show us exactly who is going to be prepared to take that left tackle spot for the Bears.
Because I feel like that is the only spot you're going to look at and be like, hey, that's an open position right now. And the sad thing, though, is that is a very important position to have open right now. Like,
are you one of the ones who believes that left tackle and right tackle are equal importance?
No,
that they're
equal
balanced?
important. That is a great question because, I mean, I'm not an offensive lineman. We've had, Big Cat Williams and everybody on here that we have asked that exact question to and everything. And they say, like, a lot of people say it's like, hey, you got a Pro Bowl right tackle in Darnell Wright on one side. Why not move him over to left? That is a more important position on a blind side. And Big Cat Williams said, he's like, that is a lot harder than people realize because you have to change every single scheme on the way that you are moving, and then you can walk away with injuries when you do stuff like that. And that's one thing that we've always heard with the Bears when them flopping around, moving around offensive linemen like they were freaking like nothing, like, and then they'd always come out with injuries after that. Like, well, you don't want to do that. Darnell Wright is a solidified right tackle Pro Bowler. Leave him there.
Right.
Do not move him. Leave him there.
Well, I'm looking at it. So if I'm looking at the roster spots right now, you have Braxton Jones, Jarek Willis, Karan Amagaji, and Theo Benedict.
We didn't even talk about Karan, but
so now here we are. Is Braxton better than Willis? Is he better than Amagaji? Or is Benedict the best option? And I think we need to talk. Let's just kind of.
I think training camp is really going to show that on who is going to start. I think going in, everyone keeps saying Braxton Jones is your starting left tackle the start of the season. I don't believe that. Like, I will say he's your starting left tackle, maybe preseason, but I want to see what he does because, in my opinion, I think Benedict's a better left tackle.
Okay, so. All right, let's just cut to the chase. My question is, what do you do with Amagaji? I don't know where Kyron fits. I don't know what he is. Maybe in the greatest scheme, he can do like Big Cat. Maybe he can go over and be a D tackle. I don't know. I don't know what he is, but I'm not sure that I'm not assured that he's an NFL starting, especially starting left tackle. But maybe I'm on maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, it was the one thing that I was worried about immediately when we drafted him. Other than the fact that you drafted another guy who's injury prone. But you drafted a guy out of Yale. There's no great football players he's going up against at Yale. Like I don't understand. You're basing that off of pretty much his body feature because the guy is massive. Just like, the left tackle that we were talking about earlier is also massive. But, I mean, I don't know where we haven't been able to see him. We saw him come in one game when our left tackle got hurt and he got walked on the very first play badly. But then I think he settled down and he didn't do bad. I mean, at least I wasn't seeing a lot of pressure on that side, but I mean, again, this is a training camp that's going to bring out a lot because this is Ben Johnson's second year. He's already seen what we had in his first year. Now you really got to come out of training camp and take that spot because, in my opinion, he's open for that spot as well. There is no solidified person at left tackle. And
I'm just wondering. I mean, you're looking at Braxton. He was a 5th round pick, the 168th pick. I don't know if he was a gem of that draft class, but the question is, can you rely on a 5th round pick to be your starting left tackle? Now, if you tell me right guard, maybe. You tell me tight end, you tell me fullback, you tell me wide receiver, I'm along with you. But when you say left tackle, left and right tackle, I don't want to hear about a 5th round pick. Maybe I'm just biased.
No,
maybe
you are
100%
accurate. You are 100% accurate on that. And it's more the fact that when you draft the guy as a 5th round pick at left tackle, he should never be your starting left tackle. All right. I mean, you should be waiting 2-3 years to see what he can turn into. And I mean, we're in year 5 now. I mean, we're nowhere. Like, I didn't see any improvement on his game other than getting experience in there, which, don't get me wrong, that's huge. I mean, you need experience. I love that he was thrown in there, but I did not see any improvement in his game. And I mean, whether he is your starting left tackle, whether he is going to finish the season and do okay, in my opinion, but this is going to be his last year. I mean, because that is actually a great question. I mean, not to jump into things like, who are you drafting in the first round next year now?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know what Ozzy's going to be. Is your first round draft pick going to be a D end, or is your first round draft pick going to be a left tackle? That's going to be a huge question. But I mean, Braxton Jones will not be here at the end of this year, and he might get traded midseason if Trapilla does play pretty well.
Well, again, if you're talking about next year,
Benedict, sorry,
when you're talking about big money and you're talking about high end, because you're going to pay your first, second, third round picks big money, and you expect for them to play. So if you're not talking about, you've got to get, my theory always with the draft has been that you must get your defenders in the high ends of the start. Either your quarterback, your lineman, your offensive lineman, or your D lineman have to be within your first 3 rounds. I think you can get running backs and you can get linebackers and you get corners throughout. They're dispersed throughout the draft, but your money, those money picks are right there. But okay, Braxton Jones, 6'5", 300 pounds. He's only 27. But here's the other thing that really I'm trying to figure this one out, and maybe you can help, and maybe everybody in the chat can help. What do you have with Jedrick Willis? I mean, we keep talking. Was he a first round pick?
I don't think he was a first. I thought he was a second. Yeah, okay. I thought he was, but still a high draft pick. Second round pick is still
higher than a 5th round pick.
Yes, absolutely. It's a lot higher than a 5th.
So if this kid, if he's healthy, so let's just say we're depending on Braxton Jones being healthy. This whole thing is predicated on Braxton Jones finally being healthy. Okay. Well, what if Willis is finally healthy? See, there again now, and for some reason, I'm a guy. I don't know what he's going to be, but
you can't even base your stuff off college to see what he can be. You have nothing to go off of to have faith and see what he can be.
I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do with one of the most important positions outside of quarterback and D tackle, especially when you're playing a coverage man, a single coverage man's high system, or however you want to go. If you want to say that this is a defense that's predicated on man-to-man coverage and they like to play physical and rough, then that means you got to have good D tackles.
Yep.
That means you have to have superb D tackles in there that can push the inside of the pocket, work in the A gap, A and B gap, get in there and make some disruptions to allow for your ends to come off. Because
we play the Vikings twice in 1 year, guys. Like, they are going. And last time Braxton Jones played against the Vikings, I believe it was 17 quarterback pressures that Braxton Jones let up. 17 is what Flores did to him. And I mean, shame on I don't believe that was our Ben Johnson, so don't worry about that. But that was Eberflus's dumbass. But when it's all said and done, he didn't put tight ends to go over there and help him either. The entire day. They just let him get torched for an entire football game.
So again,
sorry, Henrik. Yo, boy, thank you, buddy. Henrik Willis, first round. He was a 10th overall pick.
That's right. Thank you, Chad.
10th. Wow.
He's 27 years old. First team All-American SEC. Second team All-American SEC in 2019. No. Selected 10th by the Cleveland Browns, someone who they had a lot of faith in. And when he was playing well in Cleveland, they thought maybe this is the guy.
And then
you've got a 5th rounder and then the 10th overall pick. Now, granted, it was 2020. It was 7 years ago.
I mean, still, Braxton Jones has been in the league for 5 years, so it's not like we're talking about a young kid anymore.
So with that said, is the push, is Braxton Jones playing for his job and survival as a Chicago Bear? Because if you've got Willis sitting behind him, and I'm not even, again, Karan is cool, but moving down to Benedict, who has done it.
And he did it okay. He played pretty well when he was filling in after the injuries. So
as long as you're not giving up that edge, as long as that Caleb doesn't have to worry about being murdered on that side, just somebody coming off and just slapping him into the third or fourth row of the stands, I think this is a logical question. What is it that you're going to do with that left tackle position? And are you going to now, in playing 12, 13 personnel, are you going to have to always shade over to that side on the left to help out with the run game?
You did draft another blocking tight end too. So, I mean, is that guy going to be spending a lot of time over there? Who knows?
These are all questions that I think are great questions that you have. But to me, these are the questions that give me pause for the cause when it comes to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
As much as I would like to proclaim their greatness and they're ready to ascend and take that next level, the problem is you've got some major holes still in some of your most important positions. Let's say Chicago has done a whole youth movement thing. Every team, the Bulls, the Bears, the Cubs, the Sox, they're young people playing all over the place, right? More veterans are moving out. Young people are coming in. But when it comes to the Bears, are these young people going to be able to step in and fill those positions? And I will say this. I'll say this, Frank. I think, I could be wrong, I think that they are letting young people come in and show their worth. I think the Bears are set with what they've got at the D tackle position. I don't think they're bringing in new people. I don't. I think they're going to work with what's on the team. It's kind of like with the Bulls. I don't think the Bulls didn't try and go out and get anybody in free agency. No. They got one guy, and then they said, yeah, better do it. He's
an important guy, though. I like the
He's
guy.
important, but they're like, yeah. See, I don't know. My question, and I know we're going to talk about the Bulls later, but how important are you if you're already talking about, well, his contract is good enough where he can be traded mid-season, or, you know, it's set up where he really is not guaranteed for next year? I'm at a quandary point, but, well, okay. In full disclosure, I was really rooting for the Quentin Grimes signing, but you know, maybe you didn't want to give him $60 million. But if you played out the contract and looked at the money, actually Quentin Grimes will make less than Norman Powell. But with all that said, what do you do if you're the Bears right now? Are you going to use this youth movement in a division where you meet up twice with everyone and everybody in your division is good? Everybody in your division can see you and can raise their level,
and everybody knows you just won the division too, so they're all going to be coming after you.
And some people are not happy with you. Some people, you know, they're not pleased with what took place. They're not pleased with what transpired when you went in. And by the way, I don't know how much better Minnesota will be at their quarterback position, but they're going to be somewhat better. And they've got enough that you've got to concern yourself with. This is a whole new season where we have to come in and prove again. To me, the Bears have not shown that they are the team that has arrived.
Yeah, because I mean, they haven't, even when they had Matt Nagy, you didn't have consistency. You came out, you won the division, you played very well, and then you followed it off with a horrible season. Like, we want consistently. We want, like, how we were promised, you know. We want the North, and we're never giving it up. Like, I mean, I'd love to see that, but I mean, at the same time, I can give two shits about the North. I want a fucking Super Bowl.
Right.
But I mean, no, I mean, you said it perfectly. Like, I honestly don't feel like they might get a veteran guy just to fill a roster spot or something like that to help in the locker room type guy. But when it's all said and done, I mean, I'm more worried about, and we asked about this earlier a few months ago, actually, what was more important to you, an end or a left tackle? And I was at first saying end was more important because we couldn't get to the quarterback last year. And like, as good as our defense is, like when they're healthy, as good as our defense is, especially our secondary, if you can't get to the quarterback and you're giving them 7-8 seconds to throw the football, I'm sorry, no defensive secondary is good enough to hold for that long. But I'm getting worried more on the left side. But I mean, the only thing that's holding me back is I trust Ben Johnson. I trust him to make the right decision. If he's going to look at Braxton and be like, dude, you still suck and you still have no lower body, I'm going to freaking put in Theo or Willis. I'm going to give him a shot. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of people that are going to be on a short leash. If you give me one bad game, I'm going to somebody else.
You have to have, and I'll say this, I am not in no way, shape, or form am I at the level of the esteemed guests that you have had on the show in years and time again. Chicago Clubhouse Network has always given the best. If any of the podcasts in Chicago, when you talk about guests and professionals, there's no better place, there's no better space than right here. But the reality is, I do understand this. In playing D-tackle, playing DN, high school, collegiately, semi-pro, one thing I did learn was that you cannot force pressure as an end if you don't have tackles that are creating that pressure, that one-on-one. Because whenever you get a chance to double the end, first of all, especially in the run game, if you can double the end and move him out of position, now you have an open lane where he's gotten to the second and then possibly the third level of your defense. So the real question is, where are your D tackles that are of? See, I go back and remember when you had track-to-truck trailer. You know, when you had these guys that were big, when you had guys
Washington and Keith Trailer,
when you had Washington and Trailer, right? They were the greatest thing for Brian Urlacher's career.
Oh yeah,
because they kept everybody off of him. And that ability that he had, that natural ability to be able to roam over the place. You're talking about a man who was quarterback in high school, went on to be a tight end, safety, and now all pro linebacker, phenomenal athlete.
One of the best Bears linebackers in NFL
history, and in NFL lore. But because you had that in front of him, you were able to keep guys off of him. When you had Tommy Harris there, you were able to keep guys off of him. Now, you don't get a chance to get Julius Peppers every day. You don't get that every day. But when you have Julius Peppers and you have Allen who came to the squad, and then you have other players who came in who were great edges, Mac, great edge, those type of players are special. But the root, the meat and the potatoes of a defense has to be that D tackle in. And that D tackle and that end combination has to be solid. You cannot get the best. I keep seeing people say you've got to get DNs. You must get a good D tackle. You got to get a space eater in there. You've got to, if you remember when you had Hicks on the team.
Our defense was different when Hicks was here, man. He was the most important other than Mac. I mean, he made Mac's job a lot easier, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. But
no. Akeem Hicks made, and everybody who knows, if you know about the Sizzle, you know Jay Sizzle and I always have this argument that the most important, the most critical and crucial player on the Bears defensive line was Akeem Hicks. Yeah. And everybody was like, no, look, what about Mac? And what? If you don't have,
makes their jobs a lot easier. I agree.
When he went down and got injured, you saw
Mac struggled because Mac was double teamed and they couldn't do anything.
yeah, I can't just fly off the edge and suplex people because I got one-on-one coverage anymore. Now it's not only is it a double team, now I'm not only is the guard or in the tackle they're kicking in, now I get chipped by the running back or receiver they've kept in. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that a good D tackle makes your life easy. So the question for the Bears is, can you get a good D tackle in there that can give you some consistency and some push? And I don't see that. I don't see it in Javon Dexter. I don't see anybody
Dexter
that they
is
have.
a solid player, but he's not that Akeem Hicks type guy. But
No,
I mean,
and
a
that's
lot
what
of
you need.
people. A lot of people are looking, and I know a lot of people keep looking past him because he only played like 3 games last year. You still got Shamar Turner, who was that guy in college, and he got hurt last year, and you weren't able to see anything from him. And I mean,
Isn't
this
he
is a
hurt
big year
this
for
year
him.
too?
What?
Isn't he hurt again?
I don't think so.
He's not hurt again.
I didn't hear any news about Shamar. I mean, help me if I'm wrong on the chat. You let us
Maybe
know.
the
I didn't
chat-
hear anything
yeah,
about
the
Turner
chat
getting
can
hurt.
let us know, but
Yeah.
I didn't think he was 100%. But maybe he is.
Well, I mean, he
Yeah.
did have a serious injury, so he
Mhm.
might still be rehabbing from that injury. Who knows? But I mean, I loved when we drafted him because he was a beast in college. Like, and I mean, a lot of people keep forgetting back when we went to the Super Bowl, Tommy Harris, man, another DT. Like, I mean, we had Alex Brown on here numerous times who straight up said he was like, dude, I'd be nothing if it wasn't for Tommy Harris. Tommy Harris made everybody's life easier. So I 100% agree with you on that one. And I do like Montez Sweat. I just don't think he is that pure defensive pass rusher. He's that pure all-around defensive end who can stop the run and put pressure on the quarterback. He's just
I'm
not
gonna say this.
Like, and I was at that point. I want to hear your opinion on this too, because before all the craziness happened, I did want them to trade and get a Max Crosby. I mean, before all the injuries happened, because he is just a proven guy. He is that guy. He's proven to be that guy. But everyone was worried about here because of the mileage that he has on him. And I mean, I agree with them, but I mean, he did play his entire career 96% of the snaps every single season. So, I mean, you do worry about that leg a little bit, but he's just a proven monster. And that is what we desperately need. He can move into the DT position too if he wanted to and still put pressure on it. Like, he is just that game wrecker that people can't stop.
He is. And I will say this, and I don't want to be disrespectful on your platform, but
you are more than welcome to be.
I've always looked at Montez Sweat as like the Temu version of Julius Peppers. Like if there was a part 2 to it, like if there was a secondary. When you look at Montez Sweat, you look at the athletic stature, the build. He has the prototype. Everything about him is the prototype, but he has had no D tackle that has helped 100%. To make his life easier. So when it comes to a Max Crosby, or when it comes to any of the, if you were going to
any help on that
to get any D line, I was with, but I will say again, unless you're bringing in a Chris Johnson, unless you're going to get a bona fide D tackle, someone who can push that pocket, you're going to have the reason why the Raiders struggled defensively, because they had no bona fide.
They had nothing other than Crosby. They destroyed Crosby's career themselves because they gave him no help on that defensive line his entire career. Everything was a strikeout. Every single person that they drafted for him was a strikeout.
They have better ancillary pieces. They have better corners. It's questionable when it comes to the linebacker core, but ultimately, when you talk about the defense for the Chicago Bears, you think of Montez Sweat because he's the only notable that you have to scheme for. He's the one that comes up in the meetings that you have to prepare for him. And if we can prepare for him and neutralize him, then we can get to that next level. We can get to the second level and then hopefully parlay that into the third level. Yeah. So the question is, how much better have the Bears gotten on their in the trenches? I'm just concerned about the trenches.
100%.
On the offense and on the defense. How much better, if any, have the Bears gotten? And I would like to hear the chat what they think about that. What is it when you come to where we are? Chat, tell me, have the Bears gotten any better on that in the trenches, especially on the defensive side? We keep talking about offense, but what have they done? The miss for the Chicago Bears the last 4 seasons has been
defensive line.
The defensive line.
Yeah.
And what do you do about Amagaji? What do you do about all of these guys on the offense? That's cool, but you put a lot of money into a Dangbo. Mm-hmm. That hasn't yielded you. Now, I will say, though, the Bears have a good young end. I like him.
I think that is the only reason why I do flip back and say left tackle is more important, because Booker gained 26 pounds in solid muscle this offseason from what I am hearing out of camp. Like and I actually saw him at the draft party too. Like that guy's biceps are freaking massive this year. He put in the work this offseason. So I am extremely excited to see what he can turn into. So that's why I was like a pump the brakes type person. Let's see what he can do as a full starter, because he is your starting right tackle. I don't care about the Dio, Bobble Wobble, whatever the fuck his name is right now. Because, I mean, you're paying him $15-16 million a year, and I don't know what for. Because you're paying him that much money off of potential. And I hate that word nowadays, because what the Bears base their stuff off of these last decade is potential.
Well, and that last contract was potential coming forward.
The trenches scare me. You're 100% right with the trenches. I just don't know. I know a lot of people do rip on Dexter. Dexter has improved every year, but he hasn't improved to that level where we expected him to be at. Like that's my big thing. Like, I really want to see Turner 100% to see what he can do. So there are still a lot of question marks, but I know one thing too that we didn't bring up as far as Montez Sweat, like game planning for him, because you are 100% right. You have to game plan for him, but a healthy Kyler Gordon, you're going to have to game plan for as well.
You're going to have to game plan for a lot of
speed off of blitzing, his speeds off of outside, inside cuts. He is going to be your roaming free safety, but it's going to be your roaming free freaking nickelback. He's going to be a Roman free nickel because he can do so much. There's a reason why Dennis Allen said, I'm going to take this position, but my first duty as this position is to sign Kyler Gordon to a long-term extension, because I've never been able to build an offense around the potential that I have at nickel with him. We just need him on the field.
I think there are a lot of pieces. Honestly, TJ Edwards might be the only person you don't have to game plan for. To me, that he's just somebody you don't have to game plan for, and his skills are eroding moment by moment. But you got Grady Jarrett, who
he's up there in age, but
he's gotten healthier. He's committed himself to the weight room, to a program. I think he's finally gotten his groove, so he's where he should be mentally to play. But again, as you said, I want to see what Dexter can do. He may not be that. He's not the Tommy Harris.
No,
he's not Washington or Trailer. But what is he? I think this year you've got to answer the question, what is Javon Dexter? And what does he bring on a consistent basis? And that's the thing with Turner, with any of them. Now you're asking consistency out of young players.
Mama Holmes.
If you can get everybody consistent, that's the only thing I'm looking for. Where's the consistency with what goes on? And something we didn't talk about, and we haven't talked in a long time. I think we've said it in passing, but we've never talked about what's your feeling about Dylan Thiemann.
I love him.
Yeah, I know you do.
God, I love him.
You do.
Like, I could not believe he slipped to us. Like, I did. Every draft board that was out there did not have him slipping to us, because nobody thought he was getting past the Minnesota Vikings. Not one person thought, because they just lost. I think he retired, if I'm not mistaken. They're all pro safety, which is the exact same style player that Thiedemann is. Like, that's my comparison on Smith and him. They are very similar type safeties. And I mean, that guy has tormented us his entire career with the Bears, or with the Vikings against us. I love having Thiedemann.
Well,
would I have loved the DN? Yes, but I just didn't see a DN that I really, really wanted at that position over that, what he can bring at the safety. And I think we expected one of those DNs to slip to us in the second round. And unfortunately, literally 3 defensive ends within 3 straight picks went 5 picks right before us. Like, we just lost all of our DNs.
Well, it's something I think there was, once you got to that push, and you know that in any draft, once it gets to that rush, and it just happened to fall that the position you needed got that rush. But I'm not sure if any of those players were the ones you're looking for.
JB will disagree, but when he comes up, because he wanted he wanted there was a DN available. I have a brain fart. I'm trying not to remember.
I remember everybody was going on about Dexter Lawrence and him coming to, oh God, you got to get Dexter Lawrence. Oh my God, you have to get him because he's going to be the greatest thing. But again, if he doesn't fit your scheme, he might be a great player, but does he fit this Dennis Allen scheme that we have? And if you have a player who doesn't fit that scheme, then I'm sorry. As much as you're a good player, you'll say, well, we'll just make it fit. Sometimes it doesn't just fit.
Agreed.
Sometimes you can be a good player and it just doesn't fit for whatever reason. But, that's just one of those things. I don't know. We hadn't had a chance to talk about it. And as you know, now I will say this. I didn't think that Thiedemann was going to be there.
No,
originally, when it started, when we first started looking at the draft, there was a possibility that he was going to be there. But I don't think anybody thought he was going to be there. Like, I didn't think that was going to be the. So in saying that, I'm saying that to say I was not an advocate for the Bears drafting Thiedemann.
Hear it.
I was not, because I thought there was a better safety that was available for the scheme. Now, this is where I know people are going to say you're crazy, G Sizzle, and you should be taken off of all podcast platforms. But I didn't. Well, okay. In all honesty, I didn't believe. I know somebody's going to say I'm crazy. I know. The player I wanted, out of all of, when we were talking about this, you were talking about Thiedemann, and again, I didn't think he was going to be there, so I wasn't that. I was like, he's going to go before. Definitely, he's going to go probably to Minnesota, right?
Yeah, I thought he was clearly going to Minnesota. I did not think he was getting out of Minnesota.
I didn't think anybody thought he was going to draft that low. Now, mind you, I'll say this: I watched Thiedemann at Purdue. And anybody who knows us knows
Big Ten, so I watched him a lot too.
Yeah, a lot of Big Ten, and I got a lot of dogs in the fight. And I've got one of my young frat brothers who got signed to the Tennessee Titans, and so I got a big up to Emil for getting out there. I thought Emil is real. The Titans are going to get a really good profile player, but they're going to get a good player altogether. But with all that said, when I saw Thiedemann when he was younger, I was like, his freshman year, I was like, okay, he's cool. I mean, he's a good dude, but he wasn't the dude I wanted. Who I wanted was Emmanuel McNeil Warren. from Toledo. And I wanted him because he was fast. He's strong.
He is faster.
He's a linebacker that plays safety.
But I don't think he has the football IQ. In my opinion, that's where
Let's get into this. Okay, like, he doesn't have the football IQ. Now, again, we said earlier about a player coming from prep school or an Ivy League, so we don't know how good of a player you can be because you didn't face anybody. But it was not McNeil's fault he was at Toledo. But the tape showed me something that
Toledo still plays good football teams, though. I mean,
yeah, they play
better than what Yale plays.
You better than what Yale plays, but not as good as what Oregon and Purdue plays.
Very true.
Given that, when I saw McNeil Warren, I said, "This is a kid who can do the things that Dennis Allen is asking for." And it came up when you were talking about. What do you actually do with that safety position when it comes to Brisker, when it comes to those guys who come up and they can tackle but cover? Now, given that Thiemann, I think it solidified it at the combine. When you put on his combine tape, you're like,
damn,
yeah, this dude's gonna be the number 3 pick. Well, it's been cool. I mean, he was swivel. He he turned his hips. He was able to get. I was like, In my mind, I was telling myself he's really like maybe Cooper DeJean just light. I was like, he's all right. He's okay. But I thought McNeil Warren was going to be the guy. And where you were picking between Hood, there are a few guys I was like, yeah, that'll be a really good pickup. And I felt a lot better because when you hear what's coming out of Browns camp, and they're having a mediocre camp as they always do, but who is the standout for the Cleveland Browns in their camp right now? Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
Yeah.
The kid is he's putting in work. He's being disruptive. He's coming down. He's playing the run. You can put him there, and now you got solid eight in the box, and he's fast enough to cover running backs, but he's strong enough to also cover linebackers, and you can bring him in on the blitz, and you can drop him back into coverage, deep safety play. So I've said all that just to say I knew it wasn't going to happen once I saw that the young man was at the 25th pick, but I just wanted to throw that out there, and I will be here for the chat eviscerating me and saying that I am insane.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
All right, we do got our guy in the background right now. I mean, we'll bring him in and hear his term on this because I mean, I will say this: he also was not happy that we drafted Thiemann as well. So let's bring in our guy. The stat man's in the house. Better late than never. JB.
JB.
Shades. Look at that.
Hey, what's going on here?
Oh, look at this.
I see my reflection on your glasses. Look at that. Hey.
Oh, boy. It's so bright. You got to wear shades. I see how you doing, sir.
No, I had some things to do today, fellas. So I had to, I'm not bared or sportsed out right now. So
okay.
Hey, what's up, Sizzle?
What is good, JB? What it be? JB, how you doing, dog?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Just trying to make it do what it do, man. It's good to see. I'll be active in the chat now. I finally found it. So.
I told Frank, I was like, dog, we had a conversation before you got on. I was like, man, we had a 2-hour discussion about LeBron James that actually went a little bit crazy, but it was good crazy. But I was dying. I was dying laughing. It was.
I was coming with logic though. So
you were, but some people were dealing with emotion. Some were dealing with logic.
Oh wait, so JB is on that chat.
JB's on the chat. I'm telling you, it was cracking in there for about an hour.
Good chain. Maybe too, because I'm like, I got work to do. And one more comment.
Man, listen, I was sitting at my desk and I was like, no, I'm not gonna. Then I saw it was like ding ding. I was like, oh, for what? I was like, no, I gotta say something. And I was like, no, I ain't gonna say nothing. And then they started talking about Bronny, and then it was bananas. But with that said, so as you probably heard coming in, I made maybe one of the most egregious takes for
the chat is going for it too. So.
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
Well, I told everybody in the chat, and I know they're gonna say it again. I was not the Dailyn thief.
You got muted again. Sizzle, you muted yourself again.
Okay, you're back.
Okay. I think somebody just wanted me to not say.
I actually agree. That is God right now, just muting you before you say that take again.
Man, it was a good take, man. That was a good take. The take is that, listen, Dailyn, Thielman was not the best, I thought, as a pick. At the time, I was thinking that they were going to get Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, and I thought he.
Oh my God! Does that not sound like what I said, Frank?
Well, you said that you were hoping he was going to be there in a second-round pick. He's a second-round pick.
Right. I wanted Keldrick Falk with the first-round pick and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren with the second-round pick. We were together live at the draft.
He wasn't there for a second-round pick, regardless, so it wouldn't have worked.
No, McNeil-Warren wasn't there in the second round?
No, he wasn't there for our next second-round pick. He was gone.
No, he wasn't there for the Bears pick in the second round.
Yeah, he was there early second-round pick he went.
I would have traded up. You got all these extra picks. I would have traded up to get your guy. Go ahead and get your guy.
Yeah. You got to go and get, if you like somebody, if anything else in Chicago fans, we learn, and I love Kurt Heinrich, but if you want D-Wade, you're going to have to go get D-Wade. You can't not sit back and say, well, we'll just let the board dictate or the player fall to us. No, if you want a player, you got to go and get that player, because down the line, 10 years down the line, when you look, who's the all-star, who's the Hall of Famer versus who was the guy that was really, really nice. You can ask yourself at this point, what is Dwayne Wade doing? Well, you'll see him on podcasts. You'll see him announcing. You'll see him things. I have no idea where Kurt Heinrich is. He might have been taken and put in a Siberian prison. I don't know. I haven't seen him in 10 years, maybe.
He's definitely gone radio silence. However,
he's enjoying retirement.
I will say, yeah, he's enjoying his retirement for sure. I will say, no, Mom, I still have my waves. I didn't shave anything off.
You're not wearing a hat, dude. It's just
that's what it is. I'm not wearing a hat. I had some things going on today. But for me, when you speak of that and you look back and say why Pat Riley said, oh, if you want to swap from 7 to 4, we'll swap first-round picks, but I also want Donyell Marshall. And you're telling me that Bulls brass at that time, Garpax, or no, was that yeah, that was Garpax.
Mm-hmm.
The reason you didn't make the trade was because of Donyell Marshall? You didn't want to part ways with Donyell Marshall from UConn, who was basically just a guy at that point in time?
Wasn't that the same thing we were told about Kobe Bean Bryant and Luol Deng?
That was both of them. Both of them that was said. Yeah.
You didn't want to trade Luol for Kobe. What? Like, stop playing with me. And then when you find out later on, when D Wade has his interviews and stuff with Melo and him, D Wade said after they won the championship and Pat Riley was like, okay, well, he asked Pat Riley, who you bringing in? And they didn't have anybody to really bring in. He said out his own mouth, you can look it up. Shoot, I was trying to go to Chicago and play with Derrick Rose. Imagine that.
Yeah. What that could have been. Yeah.
But to the Linneman thing, I get it. People say, oh, he was a top 10 pick or whatever. There's a reason he dropped to 25.
Now, okay, so that's where I was waiting because I didn't want to do this because Frank and I had talked and I knew how he felt about him and you know, I know he has a poster of him somewhere and I knew that was his guy. So I didn't want to, just.
Do I have a poster of him? No, I don't have a poster.
Okay, I'm just saying if you
Okay,
need
I got a LeBron James dartboard poster though.
Oh, here we go, sir. But I'm just saying, how did he make it to the Bears at 25?
I mean, we're never going to know that.
I think we will.
Well, I mean, we're never going to know that now. If he comes out and turns out to be a bust, then everyone else looks like geniuses for passing.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think, Frank, it's a bust. Or I don't think it's a boom or bust question. I think it's a but this guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I really, in my heart, think it is, because for him to drop from top 10 to 25, you know how many bad teams that need safety?
Well, I mean, he was on everybody's chart. He was going to almost everybody's chart. They had him going to the Vikings. They said top 10 potential, but they had him going to the Vikings. And what were the Vikings? 19?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it. I'm not in no way am I saying I don't get it. I'm just saying at the same time, there was a reason he was available for the Bears and why they were able to get him. Because I think if you look at him, especially from college moving forward, you see some of the weaknesses in his game. You see some of the things. And even though I was teasing about Cooper DeJean, I don't think he's that level of player. Maybe he will be, but not yet. And
but
so
Cooper DeJean, Sizzle, if I'm not mistaken, the Eagles got him to fulfill a need at 2 positions.
Correct. And if, from what I understand, Thieneman is only playing 1 position, and which is only able to play 1.
No, he played both safety positions. He played at least free and strong safety positions.
He did, but he won't be playing that at the Bears. Well,
not with Kobe Bryant. No,
absolutely.
He'll be playing free.
He'll only be free for right now, and maybe that's exactly what you needed. Because I remember JB's commentary earlier. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to process in my head safety greater value than D-line. D-line, D-tackle, D-end, greater value than safety. As much as I love the kid or would love to, he's a luxury pick. Now, if he had fallen down maybe 27, 28, and you've got a team that's already there, okay.
That would be a best available pick at that point. But remember, at 18, where if you're saying he was projected to go to the Vikings to be the next Harrison Smith or to take Harrison Smith's spot, they still chose D tackle out of Florida, Caleb Banks. Remember, the difference between the first safety taken and the second safety is the Caleb Downs at 11 to Dallas, Thieneman at 25 to the Bears. I'm going to be honest with you. The Chiefs probably need a safety too. But at 6, they took Mansour Delane because you know why? They gave up the other kid to the Rams.
To the Rams, yeah.
McDuffie, Trent McDuffie, to the Rams. So now they're like, do we go safety? Do we go, no, give me him. Caleb Downs off the board. Thieneman had more interceptions over the career than Downs. They said Downs is a better player. And this is Dallas we're giving credit to. Can't believe we're saying this. We're giving credit to the Dallas Cowboys, who usually they normally draft well. Right?
They do draft well. I have to give them that. They draft well. Now they don't keep their players.
Mainly their early draft picks. They do draft very well.
Oh no, they're like rounds 1, 2, and 3. Dallas has.
Well, I meant early. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 is like earlier draft picks.
Yeah, they hit the mark.
They're very bad at getting those depth pieces though. Like they never really have enough depth on their team.
And quick question, JB, while I'm thinking about it, when we're talking about Dallas and some of the moves they've made, is Diggs I'm really confused as what's going on with this young man. I see him now. I know he was a receiver, switched over to corner safety. But is he that bad that you don't take a flyer? Especially to me, he's a perfect player that you fit into a man's scheme if his skills are what you say they are. He can keep up with receivers. He can do all the things that you need. But there's something that's wrong with Diggs, and I don't know when it comes to Trayvon. What am I missing? There's something there that I'm missing.
So I think not what you're missing, but what you may be led to believe this, but it's actually something else.
Mm-hmm.
They were a feast or famine defense. That year where they had all those picks, eerily similar to the Bears. Just look it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I mean, it's hard for you to, I think that was 21 or 22. He had like 10, 11 picks. Like, it's hard to say, oh, he's Champ Bailey. He's Deion Sanders. He's Rod Woodson. When it's more like, oh, you just got picked on a lot. That's why you have 11 picks, because you got picked on a lot, right? And then after those 11 picks, he never even came close to half of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes to Green Bay, and you see he has 0 picks.
Right.
So then you throw to him, you don't throw to him. But for my understanding, he's no different than Nahshon Wright's 7 picks, 6, 7 picks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think it was this might have been 6 picks. 6 picks, but he had a lot of forced fumbles too.
But I think Byard had 7.
Byard led it.
Byard
had 7. Byard led it in 7.
Right. So Nahshon Wright's 6 picks wasn't because he was just ball hawking. It was because he had the opportunity, because they kept testing him. Now, he had a lot of pass defenses as well.
Mm-hmm.
But as we also have stated, he's given up the big play, similar to Trayvon Diggs.
A couple of times.
And Trayvon Diggs was like, yeah, I'm going to get you these 11 picks, but I'm going to give up 11 touchdowns too. So now my plus minus is at 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Doesn't look good though. But
it doesn't. But for Thieneman, what I don't want people to misconstrue is it's not that we don't like Thieneman.
Correct.
We just felt the pick would have better been served to get a young, virile defensive end who you can pair, right, with Montez Sweat and yet have tutelage to where him, Austin Booker, like, give me that New York Giants Super Bowl run NASCAR package. Give me that. Where everybody's got 5 or 6 sacks. And then he's like, oh, the Bears had 30 sacks. Yes.
We had this discussion, JB, before you got on too. And it was just like both me and Sizzle both agree with this. Like, I want to see Booker as your starting DN this year.
Don't you think he has to be?
He is your starting tight end. I mean, Dio, goodbye. What the fuck? I don't even care what his name is, but
Dio, yeah.
Booker's a better defensive end, in my opinion. He's a better defensive end now, let alone what he can be based on potential.
Now, allow me to shed just a tad bit of light on that.
Okay.
If you're telling me when we got Dio, the reason that we went after him wasn't because of his sack production, but because of his pressure. Right? Well, remember that.
And what your potential of him can be.
Mind you, a 4-year guy. It's not like he's been in the league forever. He's the size. He got Dennis Allen's. Dennis Allen's like he likes Reggie White type defensive ends. I love Reggie White type defensive ends. But you know what you cannot like force me to believe? That a guy that gets more pressure but that never sacks the quarterback. But how did that impact? Because just because you have pressure, Caleb Williams gets pressured all the time, but then rolls out and makes a spectacular play. Pressures don't end the sequence. Pressures don't get you off the field all the time. So when your best season was 3 years ago and you had 8 sacks, I'm like, okay, 8. I love 8. Can you get better? Then you go from 3 to 1 because you only played 8 games with the Bears after playing 17. And mind you, out of his whole career with Indianapolis, his last year, he was a consistent starter. He started 14 out of 17 games, y'all. You look it up if you don't believe me. But you're telling me that his pressure rate was better than his sack rate, which made you think he was going to do what here?
I don't know, but I do know the chat is going crazy. They're the chat they're doing their thing. But okay, I won't knock.
Yes, FGB, bear down. Dio blows. Thank you. With the BLOWZZZZZ. I love it. Thank you.
Yes, he does. But he is 26, and he did have an Achilles rupture. So I don't know what you can do about it. Yeah,
Sizzle, are you getting sympathetic on me? Just a little bit. If you are, you are.
No, I'm just making sure that we have a balanced coverage here. That at some point you got to figure out some reason in your head. It's got logic has to kick in somewhere that there's some reason why he's still on this team.
Because they paid 15. What is it, Frank? $15.8 million.
$15.5 million a year.
5 years. Mm-hmm. That's why he's still on the team. Mm-hmm. However, again, when I look at production and performance versus what you think he will do, he hasn't lived up to that. And then partial of the season of the 8 games he played, look it up, he actually played a little better at D tackle at the 1 technique.
Right.
He did.
Because Grady Jarrett was out.
Yep. Yes. I remember him moving over to there when Booker was going in on those 3rd down plays.
So you're telling me that this 6'5", 280-pound guy that's supposed to be your dominant, or no, not dominant, your complimentary edge rusher to Montez Sweat is better served as a run-stopping 1 technique tackle? You miscouted and misevaluated him, Bears regime.
Well, okay. So 22, he had 17 games played with 18 combined tackles, 5 sacks. 23, 17 games, 22 combined tackles, 8 sacks.
8 sacks, yes.
24.
And it went like 3-2-0, right?
Yes. And then 24, you get to 17 games played, 13 combined tackles, but only 3 sacks. And then in 25, you get to the Bears. He has 8 games played, 9 combined tackles, and 1 sack.
1.
And that's $15 million.
And that's a $20.5 million cap hit for 2026.
You cut him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're stuck with him this year. That's why we can't get rid of him.
So ultimately, at the end of the day, he has to perform so that it makes sense
so
that somebody trade him, so that it just makes sense that you signed him. Just you're like,
right? You're keeping him is no longer the issue.
No,
it was the initial signing that comes into question. And now, like I stated before, if you start him because he makes more than Booker, then now you're cutting your nose to spite your face.
Correct.
Booker needs to be there. And I like Booker. I just felt that why can't you have Booker and Falk? Why can't you have 2 young guns? Because eventually Sweat is going to fall off.
At some point. Attrition.
So now you have Booker and Falk as your bookends. Like, why wouldn't we look at that? And again, a lot of the Bears injuries came to play, but Sizzle, to what you, and I'm a stat guy just like you, the stats, whether it's 8 game or 17 games, they do not quantify, not qualify, quantify production.
Yeah, it doesn't bear it out. The math isn't math, and when it comes to what they did.
Agreed.
So again, when it comes to, we said earlier before JB, we were talking about the trenches and where in the trenches when you're talking about on both sides, offensively and defensively.
Okay.
Where have the Bears gotten better? And my stance is that the Bears have not gotten appreciably better on the sides. If anything, they've stayed stagnant. That's where the math tells us they're maybe on par. And in some areas, when it comes to the left tackle, you might be in a worse position. But your division has gotten better.
Better,
Not
especially
appreciably, but
on the
some of them
offensive
are
line.
better. Yes. You still have to deal with Minnesota now. Minnesota may not be, you might not think of them as world beaters, but they're going to be better offensively. Green Bay is going to be highly motivated to beat you at any level, and the Lions are still the Lions. And
Well,
for some
one,
reason,
they're
they
healthy.
they figure out the Bears scheme. So you haven't figured out a way to beat the Lions yet, but they figured out a way to beat you consistently. So
I look at three things of what you just said. One, last time I saw the Bears play against the Cardinals, Kyler Murray and James Conner kind of like slapped us around. Now you actually have, and remember, for all
You did have Eberflus as your coach, though, so let's not forget that.
I'm not
Okay.
getting.
But I agree with you. I understand what you're saying.
Not like the Cardinals had a
I'm
great
that type
coach
of person where I'm not that. I'd be more worried about playing Kyler Gordon in 2K than I would be in the NFL. But go ahead, keep playing Madden.
And I get you. However, JJ McCarthy led the Vikings to actually winning our division. With the Bears didn't win the division. The Bears won 2 games in the division. 2. We were 2-4 in the division. We won the division because we beat other teams. We were 2-4 against our division. We split with the Packers. We split with the Lions.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, we split with the Packers.
Split with the Packers and Vikings.
And was 0-2 versus the Vikings. I mean the
Lions.
2-4. That 11-6, okay, but we're 2-4, and the people that we have to play 6 times.
We were still 11-6.
No, I'm not taking it away, Frank.
I was saying
But
that
you know
with
what?
Sizzle too. Like I care more about a playoff than the NFC champ or the NFC division.
And you're right. But the thing about it now is the Vikings with Kyler Murray got better. The Lions got better.
And I
Green
understand.
Bay is healthy now, at least going into.
You
They've
still
got
have Jordan Love as your quarterback, so
Jordan Love is not a
$50
bad
million a
quarterback.
year to be an average quarterback.
Yeah, but he's an average quarterback that is on par with the other competition in your division.
He's an average quarterback that's also thrown for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns.
That
Still
And has won a playoff game.
chokes when the game matters. So, but this is the thing. You
I can't agree with that.
You can't sit there though and say the Bears did not get better because you are going into a second year under Ben Johnson now. Ben Johnson has now evaluated all of his players to see what they actually were, and now he's actually building a playbook that is actually going to make you even better. Like, I still expect the Bears to be better, but am I saying record-wise they might be better? Maybe not. Who knows? Because this year they do have the hardest freaking schedule in the NFL, which sucks. But last year they actually had the third hardest schedule in the NFL. I know it didn't pan out that way because of injuries that happened and everything like that, but they still, before the season started, had the third hardest schedule.
So can I ask you this? And this is to both of you.
Okay.
2 scenarios, and I'm just going to keep it Green Bay because we know the football gods have pissed on us at times, and last year they shined on us. So I'm not going to get into that. However, do we count on Romeo Doubs muffing another onside kick, which if he catches it, we don't win that game? That's one. That's one. 2, the same thing Eberflus and the Gopher boy did when we were beating Denver like 28 to whatever, and they let him come back because he said 20. Luke Getsy said 28 points was enough. Matt LaFleur did that with us when the Bears were losing. What was it, 21-3, and the Caleb had 35, 36 yards at halftime. is that on Jordan Love or is that on the coach saying we've done enough? Let me take my foot off the gas. Where you should have had the Steve Spurrier mentality. No, let me apply more gas.
That happens in the NFL all the time, though. Every team, not just the Bears. I hate when you have a lead and then you sit back and you have to play safe ball and let the ball just move the ball. I hate when they fucking do that. And then it's not just the Bears, though. Every football team does that now. With a part of one person. And unfortunately, that one person is in our freaking division, and that is Flores. Flores will never take his foot off of the gas if you have a lead on defense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But most coaches do that.
Well, I can tell you 3 right now that don't. Andy Reid, because he learned in Philly. Notice, Andy Reid can have a 3-touchdown lead and Patrick Mahomes still in the game.
I'll give you Andy Reid, too.
Yes.
I'll give you Andy Reid, too.
John Harbaugh,
Mm-hmm.
especially the 41-touchdown, 4-interception game with Lamar.
John Harbaugh, I can't give you that. Sorry.
You don't have to give it to me. I'm telling you.
It happens every once in a while at work.
He wants to run the score up.
He screws that up a lot, too.
But he wants to run the score up. And the third is Sean Payton in Denver because
Exactly.
Sean Payton,
Old school type guys. I'll give you Payton, too.
Exactly. Peyton is
he's like, oh, we're up 3. Let's go up 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you Sean Payton, too. A lot of those old school type coaches still do it that way, but a lot of the newer up-and-coming type coaches, they don't. Shanahan does that, and Shanahan's one of the best coaches around there right now.
Clearly, Ben Johnson tried to do it as an offensive coordinator with the Lions.
He did.
That's very true.
And he will.
Hopefully you learned your
the
lesson.
amazing part. He will.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you have certain leads, and shame on Matt LaFleur because I mean, first of all, FGB all day, all my life, FGB.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not that anal to say they're not a problem. They're not somebody we need to address. They're not somebody we need to be concerned and aware about.
The Bears haven't earned the right for any team to come in and
correct. And
feel that way.
I'm not that far removed from Matt Nagy going 12-4, and then the next season we're like, what the hell happened?
Right.
And I'm not saying that Ben Johnson is Matt Nagy, but when you look at the real statistics and you say, oh shit, Matt Nagy went 12-4, Ben Johnson went 11-6. Numbers are numbers. Who had the better season?
Okay.
Then they got comfortable, and defenses said, oh, I know what you're doing now, Matt Nagy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to know
Matt
what
Nagy
Ben Johnson's doing to get comfortable. But we can't say that that's not a thing, Frank. We
Well,
can't say that
you
it's
can't
just
you can't write up the score too, and Mitchell Trubisky's your quarterback. And that was a very, very short playbook that Matt Nagy was able to use for Mitch Trubisky.
And there are times when our playbook is too extensive for Caleb. Call it what it is.
Well, that's the question I did have, and we were going to wait to talk about. I was going to wait to introduce this. Is when you're talking about year 2 and the expectations for the Chicago Bears, the Caleb mandate is this: that now you have your head coach saying, "Do less," and have a higher percentage, but do less. You can get a higher percentage by doing less. So do we expect that at this point, Caleb, I got a little bit happy.
We'll get into Bulls in a little bit.
Yes.
We'll get into that next.
Caleb
that is going to throw a lot of people off, though.
Is going to do less to gain more. The question is, at this point, do we expect for Caleb Williams to make the jump to be at a consistent 4,000-yard thrower, a sub single-digit interception thrower, and a double-digit touchdown thrower in year 2 now in this same system? Given the offensive line he has, given everything that we know, even with the additions of some of the players he's gotten, Raymond, getting some more tight ends, what we have right now, where do we see Caleb going next year or this upcoming season that's going to be better than what we saw last year?
I'll let JB go first. He's biting at the bits because he's probably going to get like a 1,800-yard passing season or something like that.
No. I actually think that Caleb presses the issue. I think he hits the 4,000. I really do.
Wow. Is that the first compliment you gave him?
No, it's not the first.
I'm kidding.
But I'm not so Bears Kool-Aid partaking that's going to lead. So now we went from 11 wins to like 14 wins. Like, I don't think it's that, because of, well, for one thing, like when I tell people, I said, Caleb has a lot of Brett Favre in him. I don't mean the recklessness, but I feel I can make every throw.
Right. The bravado.
I wouldn't mind having
the bravado. If I've got this much inch of daylight, I can do it.
Yes.
But this guy right here is open for a 7-yard check down. I can comment on how many times that Tom Brady went through his first progression, and if it was in the flat, he didn't move off of the big play. He took the 7 yards. And they kept matriculating down the field. Now, yes, they had drops. But 58% completion percentage versus 62 last year has less to do with the drops than more to do with I'm pressing. How many times have we seen him roll out to the right, roam, throw it, and it's a dirt ball?
Nah.
Or he throws it away.
We had that discussion a lot, and we always kept saying, too, the best thing that happened to Caleb, honestly, in his young career so far,
was
Rome getting hurt.
I agree.
Because when Rome got hurt is when he found Loveland, when he found Burden, when DJ Moore finally started getting balls. Then when Rome got back, he still spread the ball out to everyone. That's why I felt it was the best thing that happened, because he just wanted to feed Rome and feed his guy all day. And I hated it. But the key thing is, hey, I'm never want somebody to get hurt, but I'm glad he did. Hopefully.
But now you're talking about the evolution of somebody because you don't have your crutch.
Right.
You don't have your go-to, right? And that's why I'm saying, like, I feel that Caleb could get us to 4,030. Hell, Jordan Love gave them 4,100 yards and 32 touchdowns.
Sure.
It's possible.
Sure.
But then you look at Joe Montana, never thrown for 4,000 yards.
You can't go back that far, though. Because they didn't throw the ball that much back then.
Well, no, they did. They were just more efficient.
They were more running games, too.
Which is a big question about the run scheme also moving into with Swift and Monungai. Are you going to hit those outside strong zones? What are you going to do to change? Because you've got to change something. You can't come into this season doing the same thing you did last season when now the league has a read on you.
I agree. You always got to adjust.
So what is the adjustment, even with the 12 and 13 personnel? And I get it. Do you say to Caleb, listen, you're going to throw less. You're going to throw less. And Caleb reminds me of my grandbaby. You can tell him no, but he's going to do it anyway because he's going to give you that look and you're going to be like, God darn it, he's going to throw the ball. This is a run play. And he's going to check out of the run play and say, I can make that seam 40 yards down and I can hit it. Maybe the worst and best thing ever happened was one of the greatest plays where you have a man who did a Madden-esque play and dropped back 672 yards and still threw a touchdown. Still don't know how he did it. I don't know even if that's logical. But if he's done that,
not something you ever want him doing again. I mean, obviously winning.
He's going to do
but
it.
The fact that he did it is still here.
And he knows he did it.
He's confident. I'm not mad at anybody for being confident. But, I mean, this is the thing. And I agree 100%, I want him to improve in his accuracy. I want him to take more of his check downs. And throughout the year, he did do that a little better, honestly, when Rome got hurt.
Not throughout the year. After Rome went out is when he did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Throughout the year, but I was saying because Rome got hurt, he started using checkdowns a little bit more. So, I mean, I don't care how it happened, but he learned, and hopefully he's going to keep doing it that way. But the thing is, and I know JB, we always get into it when it comes down to this conversation, is the short plays, the easy plays, the completion plays, that is coachable. What's not coachable is what this fucking kid can do in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line.
See, that's my question. I don't know if it is coachable because he has to be willing to be coached.
Yes.
So if the person that is not willing to be coached when it's coachable, how coachable is it? Because he's gonna do it. He's gonna that's a 60-yard throw. Oh, I can make that. Don't worry about it. Let me roll to the left and let me get here and voila. And you're like, no, that's not, that didn't make any sense, but he did it. So can you coach something out of somebody that is uber talented, uber aggressive, and uber assertive? That's right. Bingo.
You can't coach that out of him. That's why I said he's Brett Favre-esque with that.
Mm-hmm.
What you want him to do is say, take the easy throw, because what I want, if Swift and Monangai are the new Sonic and Knuckles, then use them as such as how Detroit did. I'm not saying because even though this is crazy, Ben Johnson was left and Jared Goff still threw for 4,000 plus yards, damn near 30 touchdowns. He didn't drop off at all.
Bingo, bango.
So what I need for Caleb to do, I want the 4,030 touchdowns. I'm saying it again for everybody out there in TV land. I want it. You know why I want it? So we can stop talking about it.
God.
Get it over with, and let's be done with it. Because now, just because you got 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns doesn't mean we're winning games.
Correct.
So let's get it and get it over with, but let's compliment. And if this is a situation where now me running the ball, knowing, because I listen very well, Dennis Allen, not that much to say. Ben Johnson, a whole lot to say. And to say, oh, our defense on the back end has enough speed to now cover for additional time. We all played ball.
I don't want that. I want fucking pressure on the damn
I don't want my guys covering for 6 to 7 seconds. How insane is that? That's how shit gets messed up.
It's a good point, Squirrels. I like that comparison. That is a good point. Nobody's going to tell MJ and Kobe to pass the ball more.
That's not true, because Phil Jackson actually told Michael Jordan, trust your teammates and pass the ball more.
But he still shot and still made your game-winning shots. Though. He was still Michael Jordan. Yes, pass the ball more. Yes, understandable. But when it comes down to it being on the line, you want your guy to have the ball.
Did he not do it?
He did it every once in a while, and Caleb Williams did it every once in a while. It's just how often.
Not to the tune of 58.1% completion.
Mm-hmm.
It's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan went from shooting 50 shots to average 30. I'm exaggerating. To shooting 25 to averaging 30. Hey, brother,
that's what we're asking Caleb Williams to do now.
Right? We're actually loosening you up and helping you out.
And maybe
6 championships later, like, stop.
Yeah.
This is a good segue, because I didn't expect to spend hour and a half talking about the Bears when nothing's really going on. That was pretty crazy. So let's get into a little Bulls basketball here.
Okay.
I'm saying it again. I'm sorry. I haven't been on the show in a while. I wasn't on the show for the Bulls draft and everything like that too. But what was everyone's take on it? Caleb Wilson, and you got Darren Swain. What's your take, Sizzle?
Well, as I said, and we talked about this earlier, one of the things with Swain and with Wilson is you finally got complementary pieces. You were able to use 2 first-round draft picks to get arguably what your GM is planning and designing. I just want you to get somebody who is capable. At this point, I just want somebody who's competent and capable. Mm-hmm. Can they play basketball? Do you know that they can play basketball? And if you put them in position, will they be able to execute? My question now, moving into the summer league as it's getting ready to start, is now there's a question if your second pick is now supercharged like Dylan Harper. And now you're saying, well, he might be able to be your lead guard and your point and your two. What can he do? Now, if you're able to pull that off, then let me say now, the general manager, the president, because I don't know who the titles are anymore.
They don't have.
I don't think anybody.
They don't have a general manager.
They know yet.
They just have a president. If he is able to do that, if
in his first draft
as the VP, Bryson Graham is able to have pulled.
No, he's the president.
He's the president. He's not even the GM. He's the president.
He's executive VP. He's everything.
He is GM right now. So yes, he is everything right now.
If he's able to have done that, you got two kids, and they can come in and have a revolution. He's the greatest president. He's the greatest Bulls executive ever. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say it. I can't. There's nothing else more.
Especially with what we had in the past with our first overall or our first round picks with our past GM and taking Patrick Williams with his first pick.
I just want to know this, JB. How many bodies does Patrick Williams know about? Because obviously there is some reason he is still. There is no way.
We know why he's here now.
Why?
It's $96 million.
That's why, right?
Nobody is free. They signed him to an extension where he made $96 million. That was the pardoning gift of our terrible freaking GM.
You traded Paul George. You traded that contract. You can trade for anybody. Paul
George can at least give you something though. Patrick Williams is
Paul George don't even play.
I know that's a fair point too. Paul George, at least his name is worth more than Patrick Williams, for God's sake.
True.
Because Patrick Williams, like he is your quadruple single. Like he averages you your 4, 4, and 4 and 4 every single game. That is his entire freaking career. Nobody is paying $96 million for that.
Now,
unless you're going to give up
what
something for
Scrolls
somebody
just
to
said. Look at what Scrolls just said. Frank, put that on the screen, please.
Okay, that's hilarious. Okay.
Let's be real. Bryson Graham is trash. He procrastinated on the head coach hire and gave up pick 38 for a guy he cut 2 days later. This is true. This guy has no clue. Now, again, would we have liked a more seasoned executive? Yes.
Sure.
Would we have liked somebody that actually played in the league? A la Mike Dunleavy Jr. Yes. I'm sure you spoke to
always work
daily about dealings, right? However, and I'm not mad at the AC Law because I remember AC Law at Texas A&M, and he had like the smallest cup of coffee with us here at the Bulls.
Correct.
But why aren't we calling BJ Armstrong like, hey, man, we're sorry. This is your job that you should have had 20 years ago.
No, they're not going to do that.
They don't do that. And then you don't go after Mike Malone because you should have fired Billy Donovan in enough time to hire Mike Malone. You don't go after Sam Cassell.
Nope, you didn't want to do that.
You don't go after Monty Williams.
Nope, you don't do. Oh God, no, you're not going to do that.
J Kidd, whether how even Anthony Hardaway, who I would think would give some of this new crop credibility. What? You go after a guy who was a backup power forward and is most famous for getting his block dunked by LeBron.
Yeah, right. That's a good point.
I was going to say this. At pick number 38, who was at pick 38 that you thought was a great Chicago future player?
I mean, this draft, maybe it would have just been a bench piece.
It would have been a G League player.
I think we have a whole team full of those, don't we?
So wait.
Yeah, we do.
So
you drafted one, didn't you, last year? Didn't you draft a G League player?
We did. So
grown 2 inches. And
if you think about it, when we drafted Buzelis, he was a G League player.
Well, yeah, technically, yeah.
Technically, he didn't go to college.
Yeah, technically. You got me there. You got
me. I'm not taking sides. I'm just telling the truth, right?
Yeah.
So,
but at least Buzelis is your Temu version of Cooper Flag.
no, Sizzle, no.
Yeah, you can just. I saw them work out together. If you close your eyes and you didn't see, you'd be like, "Is that which one is Cooper Flag?" Okay.
No, as soon as one of them took a jumper, I'd be like, "That's Flag."
Yeah, well, that's
fair point.
You would know, but from a distance, especially if you have glaucoma, you wouldn't know which one really. It just they look alike. They do, Okay.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm gonna go because Frank, I don't know if we talked about this. I haven't seen you, brother. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in like
been a while,
2 weeks, so maybe 4. But I was actually Sizzle. I was more happy and more impressed for the Dailyn Swain pick than I was the Caleb Wilson pick. And I tell you why.
Frank said that, so I do. Please enlighten me.
So when you look at what Caleb Wilson brings to the table, it's just potential and upside. I tell people all the time, please stop comparing this man to Kevin Garnett, because what you're doing is you're comparing him to what Kevin Garnett ended up being as a Hall of Famer. When Kevin Garnett first came in the league, he couldn't shoot.
And neither could this guy.
10.6 boards a game.
This guy's not a great shooter either, though.
But let me finish. What I'm saying is people are comparing him to the Kevin Garnett that's the Hall of Famer, not the Kevin Garnett that actually had hair and a part on the side from Farragut High School here in Chicago.
That I remember going to see in high school. That's crazy.
You're basing it off of the trajectory.
Dunbar lost in the Final Four to him by 6 points that year, but that's another story.
That's a different.
They lost to Thornton, Ty Street. That's another story. But my point is, if you're telling me that he's Kevin Durant, 10 points, 6 boards, rookie year, okay. He's not KG. He's not big ticket. Like, don't compare him to that Kevin Garnett because he's not that. And that's what pisses me off. But you know what Dailyn Swain brings? Something that we needed. We needed somebody that can put the ball on the floor and attack the basket and finish strong. We needed somebody who would consistently have length defensively and definitely hit the mid-range jumper. Because all we do is shoot a ton of threes, and that ain't been working for us. For me personally, and I don't care if people don't agree or not, I don't mind the Caleb Wilson pick because you had to pick somebody. Hell, Boozer, whoever, I'm not mad at the pick at all. I personally would have called Boston and said, hey, I have 2027 and 2029 first-round picks. I'm also going to give you Buzelis and Patrick Williams because of the money for Jaylen Brown. That's
you
what
smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
No, Frank, I don't smoke crack. Because Jaylen Brown is what this team needs, paired with Caleb Wilson, Nick Claxton, Josh Giddey, and Dailyn Swain at the 3. And we did sign Norman Powell.
And then we're right back into making the play-in and done.
Wait.
We're not even making the play-in now.
So
we have young players.
I misheard something. So you're getting Brown, and you're trading what? You trade the 4th pick?
No. So we've already picked. Remember, Jaylen Brown got traded after the draft.
Okay.
So picks are the picks.
Right.
Jaylen Brown got traded for a couple of picks, and Paul George, who plays about as much NBA basketball as all 3 of us combined right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that for a 28, 7, and 6 guy who was 4th in the MVP voting and led a team to the 2nd best record in the East, you telling me that guy wouldn't help this Bulls team? And all we're giving up is Buzelis and Patrick Williams and 2 first-round picks in 2027.
Why would they take Patrick Williams? That makes no sense. Why would they take Patrick Williams?
Because of the money. They don't have a choice. The money has to equate. So Patrick Williams is making the most on the team. So you have to trade him, Frank. So he's the one with the money. You have to trade him.
Yeah, I'm not making that trade.
You're not making the trade because you like Buzelis.
I do like Buzelis, and I think he is going to be something special.
I'm
But
making the
at the
trade
same
because I'm like
time,
the Bulls.
you have a very, very young team that you are trying to put on the floor right now to bring up. You're not going to be good in the next few years. We all know that. We all expect that. We want excitement. You're going to trade all that away for Jay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Brown's a beast, and I'd love to have him if we had a team around him that would benefit him. But you're coming in here, we're going right back into that 9th, 10th place, and we're drafting the 11th overall every freaking year.
No, that's the thing. We're not. Jaylen Brown took a Jason Tatum list.
They still had a stacked team even without Tatum.
No, how?
They had a very good basketball team all around, even without Tatum. They had good coaching.
They lost Porzingis. They lost Drew. They lost multiple people. Marcus Smart. They lost multiple people.
They still had good
Derek
team.
White is still better than probably anybody on the Bulls.
I love Derek White.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm telling you is the way that the Bulls are presently constructed, I don't care if it's this year, next year, or the next year after, they ain't winning shit, bro. But
you're bringing in Jaylen Brown where you're not winning shit either, other than you're
no,
just getting a guy who's
I
good
disagree
at
because
25,
Jaylen Brown gives you better opportunity to get out that 10th, 9th, 8th, and 7th spot and get into that 6th, 5th, 4th spot. He's 28, 7, and 6. He's a two-way player.
He is.
That he is.
You know what Josh Giddey's problem is now? He don't have nobody to pass to that's a dog. You know what the Bulls' problem is right now? Norman Powell, love him, but he's your most veteran player. You telling me you don't want an NBA champion that averages 28 points a game? You don't want a conference MVP and finals MVP on your team? And Buzelis, like Scroll said, Buzelis ain't really, he's an athletic guy. He still can't shoot.
If you have the pieces around Jaylen Brown still, then that move 100% makes sense. But you have nothing around Jaylen Brown when you are bringing him in here.
You have nothing around them right now. But if you have
they're young. You don't know that in the next 2-3 years.
You do, Frank. You do know.
You don't know that. How do you know that?
Frank, Patrick Williams is in what year? I'm gonna let
Patrick Williams is obsolete. That fucker can just go elsewhere. He can play for my son's freaking league and probably get roasted by my 10-year-old. The guy is trash.
I'm not saying. I just asked you a question. He's in what year?
I don't even know. I lost count the moment we drafted him.
You lost count, bro.
Like I don't. He's got to be what, in year 5? That is a question now. Is it like, am I right? Year 5, something like that?
I think it's
well,
5.
he's gotten a contract extension. So
he got a
$96 million contract extension.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. The Patrick Williams experiment, as bogus and Frankensteinish as it was, is over.
Bingo.
It's like, why are we continuing? However, he makes the most on the team. So you have to dangle him in any trade talk because he's the one that's going to equate the money. Not because people actually want him, because the minute he falls off, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get his salary right, like literally right back. Right? That's what they're going to do. However, what I'm saying to you with Buzelis going into his 3rd year, 1 G League year, 2 NBA contracts, he's going into his 3rd year. I'm not saying that he doesn't have potential, but in order to get something, you have to give something.
Agreed.
We all agree, right?
But if we had other pieces other than Buzelis, in my opinion, that makes sense. But it just does not make sense the way this roster is constructed right now. That's like literally going out there and let's go get LeBron James. Why? Then I won't be a Bulls fan.
I won't either. Because now I can finally root for the Lakers, but they ain't gonna do shit either. But
well, here's the funny part: when he comes up with Patrick Williams, so he was drafted 4th in 2020.
4th overall, yes.
4th overall. So this is his 6th year in the league, right?
See,
I got a good. Here's a. I know the chat knows, but Frank, I got a good trivia question for you. Who was drafted right after Patrick Williams?
Are you talking about the next year?
No. He was number 4. So who was drafted number 5?
Was that not the center who just went to the freaking? Who's on Dallas?
No.
You talking about Daniel Gafford? We actually drafted Gafford.
Gafford, that's who I was talking about. Yeah.
No.
That wasn't the one who was drafted after Patrick Williams. It wasn't
that is
Gafford?
number 5. Actually,
you're talking about. I thought you meant by the Bulls. My mistake. I thought you meant by the Bulls.
No.
That I am not sure about.
Well, he sits on the Bulls.
Wasn't that Cade?
No, he's on the Bulls
Cade
right
Cunningham?
now.
Cade, no. Cade Cunningham was drafted to. Yeah, he was drafted to.
He's a member of the Chicago Bulls presently.
All right, I don't have.
Chat, do you know? Come on, somebody knows. This one was the easy one.
I try not to say everything, but
no, it's not K. All right, JB, just go ahead and tell him.
Giddy?
Isaac Okoro.
I'm going by the chat now. Isaac Okoro. Oh, he was drafted 5. Okay.
And
to Cleveland, right?
To Cleveland, right behind him. Right behind him. So you picked up the 4 and the 5 in that draft, and none of them, if I can remember that draft correctly, none of them were worth $1 except I think that was Halliburton.
That was Halliburton.
That's who we should have drafted.
He went like 15 or 16 though, so I don't think anybody.
He fell to 12. Remember, he went to 12 to Sacramento, where they already had the guy from San Antonio this year, Fox. They already had De'Aaron Fox.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like that draft. Do y'all remember that draft? Anthony Edwards 1, James Wiseman out of Memphis 2, LaMelo Ball was in that draft. Y'all remember them? You remember
now they're
Obi
teammates.
Toppin?
Yeah. Everybody knows the New York Flyer, Obi Toppin.
Denny Avia was in there. Greg Anthony's son was in that draft. He was in the dunk contest wearing Timberlands.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I heard about that. DeMar DeRozan got released.
They're not gonna double back on him.
No, I'm not saying sign him. I think they were just stating that point that DeMar got released.
I tell you what, Tyrese Maxey went in that draft also at 21.
He was at the end of the draft. Look at what Tyrese Maxey's doing.
Hey, he's a pretty good ball player.
Pritchard was in that draft.
Pritchard, a dominant 3-point shooter right there. Pritchard.
Oh, the dude that we so in love with Tiago Splitter that was doing Denny Avia.
Yes.
Was in that draft. He's not even on the team that drafted. He's on Portland. But we're excited because Tiago Splitter went 42 and 40, and we just got rid of a guy that was giving us 38, 39, 40, 41, 42 wins. It's the same shit.
Do you know who the last player in that draft was?
No, now you test. I don't test.
That was Desmond Baines.
Wait, he was the last player in the draft or the last player in the first round?
In the first round. He was number 30.
To Memphis, and he's not even on Memphis anymore.
Right. Got a nice contract. It's one of those things where, Frank, we said it early. It's a hit or miss thing. If in this scheme,
Patrick Williams is a miss. Everybody agrees, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's more than a miss.
If somebody does not agree with that, then they literally need to get their heads checked.
Yeah, they need to be taken out of the sports chat, period. The problem is we won't know definitely until year 3 what you got.
Agreed.
You won't know, but we do know one thing. You have a president, like he's like Apocalypse now of the basketball thing for the Bulls. There's a young man came in here and wowed everybody. Veterans be damned. People with knowledge be damned. This is the kid we want. We got him. And he's bringing in a lot of kids. And if you look at that Summer League roster, I believe that Summer League roster is going to be what you see in the regular season.
Don't tell me that.
I believe that this young man has already told you what the Bulls roster is going to look like.
Don't tell me that.
I agree with you.
So what you're telling me is Giddey, Norman Powell, Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, and Nick Claxton as your starter.
Basketball, March Madness.
Yes, sir. And I'm saying that maybe they'll be able to draft somebody from that Illinois team next year.
Just like our roster.
Because what you're going to see, I'm saying my hot take is that somewhere around February, Swain is going to be your starting two, if not.
I said that last week to Foul. He didn't agree. He's going to be.
I think he can be. I really do think he can be. Good two-way player. He's got to improve his shooting, but I think he can be.
He's got to improve his three-point shooting, but he's improved every year from like 15, 16 to 24, 25
he's
to
a good
34.
Color, and he's a good two-way player. So, all right, we are getting close to time now. So we get into some shout-outs. Actually went the full 2 hours. Didn't expect that.
Yeah.
With the short bench. But, I mean, hey, you want to hit us with yours, Sizzle? What you got?
Well, first of all, I want to shout out everyone who this has been a crazy year. And if you know, when it's come to the Sizzle, when it's come to us, we've had old man things happen, which means you got health issues. You got stuff that's happened. You got finances that happen. You got kids who are getting older and kids who are older who are still you're paying for as if they were kids who are younger. You've got a lot of stuff that goes on. And so I want to thank everyone and shout out to everyone who supported us, prayed for us. Shout out to the Chicago Clubhouse podcast for always being there and being stable. And just shout out, to all of those, especially my family. I have to give a big shout out to them who have supported, because this has been a crazy year. And what's going to be even crazier is shouting out that this is going to, I'm telling you now, I'm looking forward to the fall. This thing is going to be great. It's going to be great. That's all I can say.
All right. JB, what do you got?
Besides,
there's a lot of people in the chat who do not like you without a hat on, by the way. I'm just saying that. I read quite a few comments that said, I've never seen JB without a hat before. It looks weird. Your mom thought you had a haircut. I mean, for God's sakes, and that's your mother.
We weren't going to say it. Oh, he went over to the other side. I was like, go ahead, JB.
I have
what up?
waves. Like, I don't know what.
Yeah. I used to have
Crazy Ace. What's up, bud? Yeah. Shout out, Crazy Ace.
Montel Williams, the senior. Safe, oh, wow.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
Montel what?
That is. Oh, that's not.
Oh no, that's Montel Jordan. Montel Williams is the talk show host.
Yeah.
I don't look like Montel Williams, and I have hair. He's bald headed. Like
that's the whole disrespect part. That's you do not look like a 6'10" Kappa who sings music. That's maybe with the glasses you do.
With the glasses on, it does. I see it a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe it's just those shades.
Maybe that's how you do it.
Yeah, this is the principal, Jake. Well, I'm not a principal, I'm a dean, but thank you for that.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Close enough.
But Sizzle, it's good to see you, brother. It's been a minute. I'm glad you were able to come on. We need to collab. I need to get back on your show.
Yes, sir.
Dark. If you're still doing that, I have my political views right now are like. Like I'm about to start graffitiing and setting fire at the data centers. That's where I'm at.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey,
Frank, I got to tell you what a bail money is, because I can't do it, right? But shout out to you, Sizzle, man. Love when you come in, man. Love talking to you, brother. You my guy. Shout out to Frank the Tank. That's my brother from another. Also, T Nick, Mr. Chicago, Easy, Foulmouth C. Anybody else from the network that's back there watching that wasn't able to make it on. And I'm going to dive right into the chat. Bot Ricks, that's our provider that makes sure that we keep moving. Shout out to StreamYard, of course, which is the platform that we use. Shout out to The Scroll. The Scrolls came in. He said Kyler Gordon is made in China. When I first rolled back, I was like, damn, like what did I miss when I first started? I missed like a whole hour.
We basically started talking about injury news, getting ready for OTAs, and
We're going to say that for the after talk, right? Shout out to Crook, of course. That's my super producer. Shout out to Ice Cold Magician. I believe Ice Cold Magician is brand new. Shout out to your boy Bub. Hedrick Willis, first round, 10th overall pick, 2020. I don't even know who that is. I done forgot probably. Shout out to my nephew Logan, my niece Leah. Thank you.
Hedrick Willis, that's our new offensive tackle on the Bears, dude.
Dedrick Wills is his name.
Yeah, he said it wrong. He
Dedrick
said it wrong
Wills.
for sure. But I think that's who he meant because he was the 10th overall pick.
Dedrick Wills is trash, but that's another show.
Oh man, you came in too late. We talked about that.
Well, they already said he was trash. They already said that Braxton Jones. Anytime you get beat by Braxton Jones, you're trash.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. I'm not gonna argue that point.
Thank you. Shout out to Dante Purify. Shout out to Chicago Clubhouse Network. Shout out to Al Bundy. Shout out to Good, Better, Best BJ. Shout out to Chicago Clubhouse #1 fan, Bear Down. Shout out to Caleb Beji Loveland. These are all actually three different people. Shout out to TTNL Runaway. Love, he's commented twice. Bear Down Bear Down as F. FGB Bear Down 18. Roma Dunze's dad. Seth Rollins bears down. I'm a visionary and I visualized Dio, however you want to say it, is garbage. Booker is the guy. We all agree. Thank you, Seth Rollins. Shout out to, we already said Al Bundy. We said the Scrolls. We said RJB. Oh, the Scrolls. Oh, hey, our man Keith Sperry is back. Shout out to Keith Sperry, man. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Thank you, Keith. Hey, Scrolls, Scrolls always got something to say, so he's definitely in there. Hey, shout out to my man Ron. We're trying to get him on the show, but I think he's shy. Shout out to Keith, Ron Winarski. He always shows up. Thank you. Shout out to Crazy Ace. Crazy Ace showed up, keeping our borders and overseas safe. Salute to service. Thank you. Ramon Acevedo, also known as Crazy Ace. We appreciate you, man. When you coming home, Crazy, holla at us, let us know.
I'll never forget when he came on right in the middle of doing work in the battlefields.
Yes.
He's live while doing it. It was pretty badass, man.
I just like the last 4 comments. Crazy Ace, I feel you, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Then right after that, the scroll said, we need AI to make, to put revealing outfits on our favorite celebrities who chorus if we run out of water. Whatever that means. Ron Winarski, though, breaking news, Kyler Gordon has another injury. I don't want to see that.
He does not have another injury.
And I don't want to hear that.
Not even injured.
Then Keith Sperry, Kyler Gordon is Eddie Jackson 2.0.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Please
hilarious. No. I saw that. I thought that was hilarious.
God, no.
K. Sperry, that was a good one. That's a good one.
It was very comical.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely hysterical. But we don't want that to come to fruition.
Yes, you don't want to put it in the manosphere.
We don't want that. And Ace, you come back March 2027, brother. That's still a ways away. God bless you. Be safe. Thank you, and again, salute to your service. Shout out to any people that we have watching that are not commenting. They are officially known as what, Frank?
L for love. Good times.
Officially
we call
known
them
as
lurkers, but we still love them.
We love them because they give that little eyeball, got the views, they help us out.
Hilarious.
So shout out to them. Shout out to any other family that we may all have watching and any friends. Shout out to both my sons. Shout out to SB and the crew. Shout out to, if we only have one person on that eyeball, and I mean one, she never misses a show. 5 years running. She's never missed one show. It's the podcast mom, most affectionately known as Miss Sandra Bynum Holmes. Thank you, Mom. Love you, lady.
All right, on me. To close it out, hey, shout out to you guys. I know it's been a while. Been off for a little while. You know, kids dealing. Her son was going through his baseball. Then he's got tryouts now for travels that he's been going through. I had to go to Texas for my little brother's wedding. So
he's a hell of a dancer too.
Oh my God, I should have put that video up. So
Next week.
Yeah, whoever hasn't seen it, check out my Instagram or something like that. My son had a nice little curtain call where, not even kidding, he walked out to Thriller with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Killed it. He
He did the whole dance in a cowboy hat and a tux, you know, doing moonwalks.
Oh
like
my goodness.
it was crazy because he didn't get those moves from me. That's for damn sure. I don't know where he got that shit from.
YouTube.
That's exactly where it was
exactly.
from. Exactly.
YouTube University.
Exactly.
It's 100% where he got it from. He would just sit there and do dance moves on YouTube all the time.
I love it.
But hey, other than that, hey, nothing really. I mean, I wanted to break down a little Blackhawks, but we ran out of time. So maybe I'll do that on the next show. But I will say this, because all the people are asking me, should we be worried Connor Bedard has not signed an extension yet? No, I'm not worried. The rumors from what I'm hearing out of all my people who are actually in the Blackhawks organization and everything, the deal is pretty much done. They're waiting for the salary cap to make the hit. They're waiting to see how much it goes up to the point where how long they're going to put that extension is. Blackhawks want to give him the max extension, which in hockey is only 8 years. That's the max.
He did 3, right?
What was that?
He's done 3.
Yes, he's going into year 3 now. But he'll get somewhere around $14 million a year, which that's crazy. That is one of the higher prices in the NHL, $14 million a year. But he'll get that, and they're looking at somewhere between 6-8 year deal. They want to lock him up as long as they possibly can because they know what he is and what he can be. So, but yeah, I'll break that down on another show another time. So, other than that, anyone else got anything that needs to be? Fuck LeBron James, by the way. No, fuck him. Fuck Bronny. I hope he gets cut or sent down to the G League because that's where he belongs.
Lakers already said that. he wasn't on the summer league.
No. And the funniest thing is I was bringing this up to Sizzle. I read a thing about this that the 76ers are willing to trade Dailyn Terry for Bronny James straight up to convince LeBron to come to Philly.
You know what's crazy?
I
didn't even know the Sixers had Dailyn Terry.
I know nobody does. He doesn't play on. He doesn't play on the Sixers either, so it really doesn't matter. He was the same dancer in Philly too. He just freaking didn't play any basketball. So other than that, nothing else. Hey, shout out JB Sizzle. Great having you on, man. We'll definitely keep having you on again. It was great to see you again. But other than that, hey, we out.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.